When the noise gets loud, when the world starts pulling you in every direction, when distractions flood your mind, that's the moment you have to make a decision. You either drift with the noise or you lock in. Focus is the new superpower in a world that's addicted to distraction. Everywhere you turn, something is fighting for your attention. Notifications, opinions, noise, and endless scrolling. People's minds are constantly being pulled in 100 directions, leaving them exhausted but empty-handed. The truth is, it's not a lack of talent or opportunity that's holding most people back. It's a lack of focus. The ability to lock in, to give your full attention and energy to one thing until it's done, has become rare. And that's exactly why it's powerful. When you master focus, you separate yourself from the crowd. You start finishing what others only start. You begin to rise not because you're the most gifted, but because you're the most committed to staying locked in. Focus is discipline in action. It's the skill of saying no when everyone else says yes. It's understanding that every distraction has a cost, and every minute wasted is a piece of your potential thrown away. Most people think they're working hard, but what they're really doing is multitasking their dreams to death. They give 10% here, 20% there, and end up spreading their energy so thin that nothing ever grows. The focused one, however, gives 100% to the mission in front of them. They're not everywhere. They're right where they need to be, giving their all. That's how progress happens, not through bursts of hype, but through sustained, concentrated effort. When you focus deeply, time slows down. You stop thinking about what everyone else is doing. You stop comparing, and you start creating. Your energy becomes a weapon, and your attention becomes your greatest tool. The world tries to sell you shortcuts, but true mastery only comes through repetition and focus. You can't master your craft by touching it once a week. You can't build greatness in between distractions. You have to be obsessed enough to tune everything else out. The best in the world didn't get there because they were lucky. They got there because they knew how to lock in when others lost interest. Focus also demands patience. It means committing to the process even when you can't see the results yet. The seed doesn't sprout the day it's planted. It grows underground where no one can see it. That's what being focused feels like. Unseen effort, quiet work, no applause. But one day, the results speak so loudly that the silence was worth it. Most people quit because they get bored. They want quick wins, instant validation, and overnight success. But the focused one knows that staying consistent is the real game. They don't chase dopamine hits. They chase legacy. Every time you let your attention drift, you lose momentum. Every time you give in to distraction, you weaken your progress. Focus is not just about staying on task, it's about protecting your purpose. It's about building mental armor strong enough to resist the noise and the temptation to stop. The moment you learn to master focus, you unlock a version of yourself that's unstoppable. You start moving with clarity, making decisions with purpose, and working with intensity. You realize that it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with everything you've got. The person who can focus in a distracted world holds the real power. They become unstoppable not because they have more time, but because they waste none of it. While everyone else is talking, scrolling, comparing, or doubting, they're building. They're mastering their craft, stacking wins, and moving closer to their goals every single day. Focus is what transforms effort into excellence, ideas into execution, and dreams into reality. It's not about having superhuman strength or genius level intelligence. It's about controlling your attention long enough to finish what you start. In this generation of noise, silence, and tension, and focus have become your greatest weapons. Lock in because focus is the ultimate superpower. Discipline over feelings. That's the real difference between the people who talk about success and the ones who actually live it. Feelings are fragile. They change with the weather, with your mood, with your circumstances. One moment you feel inspired, the next moment you feel lazy. One day you feel like grinding, the next you want to rest. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline is the voice that says, do it anyway. It's what keeps you moving when your motivation disappears. It's the promise you make to yourself that no matter what's happening around you, the mission comes first. Most people fail not because they don't have talent or opportunity, but because they let their emotions decide their effort. Discipline doesn't ask if you're ready. It demands that you show up. When you live by your feelings, you live in chaos. You'll start 100 things and never finish one. You'll only work hard when you're excited, only push forward when it's convenient. That's why so many people stay stuck in the same place year after year. They're controlled by emotion instead of execution. Discipline flips that switch. It makes you show up even when your body says no. It makes you push through the days when everything feels heavy. It builds a mindset so strong that your mood can't dictate your mission. The real ones know. Feelings are temporary, but results are forever. Discipline is the muscle that separates amateurs from professionals, dreamers from doers. It's easy to post motivation quotes, but it's hard to wake up early every day and chase your goals when no one's watching. It's easy to talk about greatness, but it's hard to live it when the grind gets ugly. Discipline is not glamorous. It's repetition, sacrifice, and consistency. It's boring sometimes. It's uncomfortable most of the time, but it's also the foundation of everything extraordinary. You can't rely on excitement forever. That burns out. But discipline. That's the fire that stays lit even when the room goes dark. The greatest achievers in the world didn't always feel like doing the work, but they did it anyway. They didn't always feel confident, strong, or motivated, but they kept moving. They trained their mind to ignore excuses. They turned their emotions into energy and used discipline as their anchor. Because they understood something simple yet powerful. If you let your feelings control your actions, you'll never control your future. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you earn. Freedom from regret. Freedom from weakness. Freedom from failure. Discipline is what builds the life you want when feelings try to destroy it. Every day is a test. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting up. Workouts you don't feel like doing. Goals you don't feel like chasing. But that's when it matters most. That's when discipline steps in. Discipline is the voice that says, I made a commitment and I'm keeping it. It's doing the work when the excitement fades. It's grinding on the days when no one's cheering. It's choosing progress over comfort, commitment over mood. The truth is, discipline doesn't just build success. It builds character. It teaches you that strength isn't about how you feel. It's about what you do despite how you feel. Feelings are fleeting, but discipline is permanent. Feelings will make you inconsistent, but discipline will make you unstoppable. Anyone can work when they're motivated, but few can grind when they're tired, bored, or uninspired. That's what makes the difference. Discipline means doing what has to be done. Not what's easy, not what's fun, but what's necessary. When you live by that principle, you become dangerous. Because once your mind learns that quitting isn't an option and comfort isn't the goal, nothing can stop you. Your feelings may try to slow you down, but discipline will always keep you moving forward. In the end, it's simple. You can be driven by emotion or guided by purpose. Those who choose discipline over feelings every single day are the ones who turn their dreams into reality. Silence the noise, trust the process. That's the mindset of someone who's truly locked in. In a world where everyone has something to say, where opinions fly from every direction, and where judgment never stops, the loudest power move you can make is to go quiet. Silence is not weakness, it's control. It's knowing that your focus is too valuable to waste on explanations, arguments, or approval. When you silence the noise, you take your power back. You stop reacting to the world and start creating your own. The truth is, most people can't hear their own purpose because the world around them is too loud. They spend so much time trying to be understood that they forget to build something worth understanding. But the real ones, the ones who trust the process, they disappear for a while. They go into isolation, they grind in the dark, and they let their results do the talking. Trusting the process means believing in what you're building, even when no one else does. It means waking up every day and putting in work, even when it feels like nothing is happening. That's where most people quit, in the silent seasons. They mistake stillness for failure, thinking progress should always be loud and visible. But growth happens in silence. Muscles grow in recovery, seeds grow underground, and success grows when no one's watching. The process isn't supposed to feel exciting every day. It's supposed to test your patience, your belief, and your consistency. The ones who can trust it, who can stay steady through the uncertainty, are the ones who eventually break through. The noise around you will always try to pull you off course. People will doubt you, mock you, question you, and sometimes even pity you. But that's not your business. Your only job is to stay locked in on your vision. Every distraction, every unnecessary conversation, every comparison, it all costs you energy. And that energy is what you need to build your dream. When you start protecting your peace and controlling your focus, you'll start noticing how much clearer life gets. You'll stop needing validation, and you'll stop explaining your grind. Because you'll realize something powerful. Not everyone will understand your path, and they're not supposed to. Silencing the noise also means silencing your own doubts. The loudest voice you'll ever battle isn't outside of you. It's inside. It's the one whispering, "You're not ready. You're wasting your time. You should quit." But trusting the process means believing that even when it doesn't make sense now, it will make sense later. Every setback, every delay, every hard moment is part of the blueprint. You can't rush mastery. You can't skip steps and still expect greatness. The process is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the moment you've been working for. The process is not meant to be comfortable. It's meant to build character. It's the unseen grind that separates the average from the elite. When you learn to love the process, the early mornings, the lonely nights, the grind no one sees, that's when you become unstoppable. Because then, you're not chasing rewards, you're chasing growth. You're not working for applause, you're working for alignment. You start understanding that your time will come, but only if you stay consistent long enough to earn it. So you silence the world, you silence the doubts, and you keep your head down. You keep putting in work. You keep trusting that the process is doing its job, even when it's hard to see. One day, the same people who doubted you will ask how you did it, and you'll know the answer. You stayed quiet, you stayed patient, and you trusted the process. Because real growth doesn't make noise, it makes results. Tunnel vision on the mission means locking your eyes, heart, and soul onto one goal and refusing to look anywhere else until it's done. It's about removing every distraction, every temptation, every unnecessary noise that tries to pull you off track. When you have tunnel vision, your purpose becomes your obsession. You stop trying to please people, you stop chasing comfort, and you stop explaining yourself. You become fully committed to what you're building. Every move you make, every choice you take, aligns with your mission. That's what separates the focus from the distracted, the discipline from the scattered, and the winners from the ones who almost made it. When you develop tunnel vision, the world might call you extreme, obsessed, or too focused. And they'll be right. Because greatness doesn't come from balance. It comes from obsession. The best in every field didn't get there by doing a little bit of everything. They picked one mission, one purpose, and they gave everything to it. They sacrificed sleep, comfort, and even relationships because they understood something others didn't. You can't master something if you're constantly splitting your attention. You can't win big if you keep getting distracted by small things. Tunnel vision means you're so locked in that nothing outside the goal matters more than finishing it. Every mission comes with moments of doubt, setbacks, and distractions disguised as opportunities. That's when tunnel vision matters most. It's easy to stay focused when everything is going right, but the true test comes when things fall apart. When the progress slows down, when people stop believing, when you start questioning yourself. That's when you must keep your vision clear. You remind yourself why you started and where you're going. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You just need momentum. Every small step forward, even when it's invisible to others, is progress. Tunnel vision keeps you grounded in that truth. People will try to pull you in 100 directions. They'll tell you to slow down, to relax, to live a little. But what they don't understand is that you're not chasing normal. You're chasing greatness. You're not trying to fit in. You're trying to stand out. You can't do that with divided focus. Tunnel vision means knowing that every distraction has a price and you're not willing to pay it. You protect your time like it's gold. You protect your energy like it's sacred. You know that one moment of weakness, one choice to get lazy, can delay everything you've worked for. So you stay focused. You stay locked. You move with purpose and intensity. Tunnel vision also means trusting that your hard work will pay off, even when it takes longer than expected. The process may be slow, but you're not looking left or right. You're looking forward. You understand that real progress happens in silence. While others are talking, you're doing. While they're showing off, you're showing up. Every hour you spend working, every sacrifice you make, builds momentum that no one can see yet. That's the power of tunnel vision. It keeps you steady when others drift. It reminds you that results don't come from occasional effort. They come from consistent execution. Having tunnel vision doesn't mean you ignore the world. It means you prioritize your purpose above it. It's a commitment to yourself that you will not stop until the mission is complete. It's a level of focus that scares people because it exposes their lack of it. You start to realize that every great thing you've ever admired was built by someone who was willing to go all in. No plan B, no backup route, just pure, unbreakable focus. And that's what tunnel vision really is. It's burning your bridges to failure. It's walking straight into your destiny with full commitment. You have to want it so badly that nothing else makes sense. You have to see it so clearly that even when it's not real yet, it feels inevitable. That's the kind of focus that changes lives. When you live with tunnel vision on the mission, you stop chasing comfort and start chasing legacy. You stop reacting to distractions and start creating direction. The noise fades, the doubt dies, and the goal becomes all that exists. And when that happens, when you give everything you've got to one mission, success has no choice but to meet you there. Your moment comes when you refuse to quit. It doesn't come when it's convenient, when the conditions are perfect, or when you feel ready. It comes after you've been knocked down 100 times and still get up 101. It comes when the world counts you out, when you've lost the motivation, when the progress feels invisible, and you still keep pushing. Most people never reach their moment because they quit too early. They stop when it hurts. They stop when it's slow. They stop when it's hard. But the truth is, the pain is proof that you're getting closer. Every obstacle you face, every challenge you fight through is shaping you for the very thing you've been working for. Your moment doesn't show up when it's easy. It shows up right after you've survived what was supposed to break you. Refusing to quit isn't just about toughness. It's about faith. It's believing that your effort means something, even when there's no evidence yet. It's trusting that the grind, the late nights, the failures, and the sacrifices are all adding up behind the scenes. The universe doesn't reward half-hearted effort. It rewards persistence. It watches how you handle setbacks. It tests whether you'll fold when the results don't come fast. The ones who win aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who stayed when everyone else left. They kept swinging when they had no strength left. They found a reason to fight one more round, one more day, one more rep. There will be moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Moments when your body is tired, your mind is screaming, and everything inside you says, it's enough. But that's exactly when the breakthrough is near. The moment you think it's over is usually the moment before everything changes. The problem is, you'll never know how close you were if you give up. The people who reach greatness didn't have smoother paths. They just refused to walk away from theirs. They made the decision that no matter what happens, quitting isn't an option. That mindset alone is unstoppable. When you decide to finish what you started, no matter the cost, the game changes. Every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback, but only if you stay in the fight long enough to see it. The pain you feel today becomes the power you'll stand on tomorrow. Every failure you face is a lesson preparing you for the next level. The difference between those who succeed and those who fade away is simple: endurance. Life will hit you hard, and it will hit you often. But if you can stand up after every hit, if you can keep showing up when no one's watching, your time will come. It always does. The road to success isn't straight. It's a storm of ups and downs, doubts and detours. But if you hold your ground, if you keep pushing when everything tells you to stop, you eventually break through. Because no storm lasts forever. Every drop of sweat, every tear, every sleepless night, they all count. They all matter. And one day, it all adds up to your moment. Refusing to quit is more than persistence, it's identity. It's becoming the kind of person who doesn't back down from life. It's building a reputation with yourself that says, I can rely on me. Every time you refuse to quit, you're not just moving closer to your goal. You're proving to yourself that you're stronger than the struggle. And once you realize that, nothing can stop you. You don't chase your moment anymore, you create it. Because when you refuse to quit, life has no choice but to give you what you've earned. Your moment comes, not by luck, not by chance, but by your refusal to give up when quitting seemed easier.